Walk in there, your body shape and the way that you move, your posture, tells them exactly who you are. And your voice, they don't recognize it, just like that. Okay? Sorry. That's what they do. That's what they do.
How do they know your voice?
Guys, if you're coming to the Alligator Show, we got 1 minute. Or they think this is like the March of the Penguins or something. But I will talk a little bit about that during the show, why they're not attacking me. A lot of people, they're like, oh, you must have fed them. You must have trained them from a baby. No. Gators raised in captivity have less respect for people than ones that are brought from the wild. Because they're just fed by people their whole life. And most of the time when alligators like chase or attack you, like people run. So they're going to do that more in captivity because they're more used to that interaction. These alligators, they have no problem chasing my boss around. He's a great gator handler, but he doesn't come in here that often because he doesn't do the shows here anymore so much. He's in charge. So he goes in here and the alligators like chase him around with their mouth open. And like they're super dangerous, aggressive. And that's just because he's not handling them all that often. When I'm handling them all that often, every day I go in there and he, especially him, he tries me. And when I say tries me, I mean he opens his mouth and just goes for my leg. Okay? And when he does that, I'll slam his mouth shut, grab his butt, grab his head, and just boom. Don't hit it on anything. I give him a good shake. See how thick his neck is? With my little arms, I can't do nothing to him. But what it tells him is, look, if you want to kill me, you got to earn it like everyone else, because this is America. It's not a big puzzle, okay? You have to be physically dominant, but you can't ever get them to be afraid of you. That's not what you want, okay? So the fact is I don't hurt them, they're not scared of me, which is great. And then also, they respect me. So I never start anything, but I'm happy to finish it. It's like fun. But gators are mostly peaceful. It's only when because I feed them, that's when they really attack me. So that's really when I have to lay the hammer down.
They're not like dogs.
Folks, anybody else coming to the show? Let's go.
Can बंद कर देगा इसका आप लोगों ने
These two for almost 3 years. It took him 6 months to stop trying to kill me, and it took her 3. I've been handling for about 11 years now. So I've learned, I've worked with many different alligators. So a lot of their personalities are like peaceful and relaxing, and like some of them are even trusting. And then some alligators are just like, they got that dog in them. Yeah. And that's, I don't know if you guys know that phrase. It's just like they got something inside of them that's like down to fight. They're ready to go. And that's not a problem for them at all. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you name them?
I did. They don't know what their names are, but I did give them names. His name is Steven, after Steve Irwin. I don't know if you guys remember him, but he's the best, in case you forgot. Yeah. And then the female, her name is Beauty. Now, because Steve Irwin would always look at a crocodile or an alligator or a lizard and go, look at that beauty. You know what I mean? So, that was just perfect. All right, I think it is time. Guys, how are we doing today? Good? Yeah. Guys, how am I louder than all of you put together? Just ask my dad. He'll tell you I'm a loud mouth. Let's try it again. How are we doing? Good? Yeah! Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Thank you for coming. Welcome to my office. I've been handling alligators, as you guys have heard it, probably one of my other shows, for just over 10 years now. So if you guys have questions for me, you are welcome to ask me either during the show, it's a little hard to hear you over this, or you can ask me over there on your way out. Now we got these two alligators I just mentioned. We got Steven and we got Beauty. That's the only two in there besides me. I go in there on occasion as well. Now, the male alligator is 9 feet long. Okay, he is about 350 pounds. The reason that they're so heavy is they don't really have fat content kind of like humans do. They have a lot of very tightly bound muscle tissue. So if the alligator had a bicep the same as mine, for the same amount of strength, it would look like this big. Okay? So the gators are much stronger than they look because their muscle fibers are super tight. So when they get all excited and riled up and using all their power, the acid in those muscles gets built up super fast. That's why gators have terrible endurance. That's why you don't want the alligators to be all riled up and excited for every show, because that will affect their health. So I hope you guys like the fact that the gators and I have a good thing going. Now, the female alligator is about 7 feet long, and she weighs 185, almost 190 pounds. Which one of these alligators is more likely to kill me during your show?
The female.
The female.
Female.
The female. Okay? This guy's smiling. This guy over here, this guy's got some silver in his beard. That's how you know he knows. Okay? That's the education. That's what I call it. Okay? One day I'll be educated, just like him. Now, guys, the female alligator is more likely to kill me during the show. Does anybody know why? She's faster, territorial. Those are good answers. Any other answers?
Protect her eggs.
Protect her eggs. What's your answer, buddy?
Because you're going to try to use him.
Because I'm going to try to use him or her? Her? Okay. So I'm going to try to use her for the show, and then she's going to try to defend herself. That's a great answer. Okay. Now, I want you guys to know, the smaller the animal, whether it's a boy or a girl, the faster they can move and the more scared they're going to be. And the female alligators need to be smaller so they can better protect their little itty-bitty babies. This is how big they are when they hatch. Okay? And even though they have all their teeth ready to go when they're this size, they still are soft and squishy like a marshmallow. Okay? Very vulnerable. So she has to be like a ninja to keep the babies alive. And that's why the female alligator is way more on point, defensive, aggressive, whatever you want to call it, on point, quick, more so than the male. The male is big and strong, so he's not afraid, he's not like, he's not worried about anything. He really is kind of like oblivious sometimes, okay? But he's worried about threats to his girl, food, and when it's time to mate. That's pretty much it, okay? That's literally what drives him throughout life. And she is not territorial, but she's what you would call defensive. So he protects the whole space. She is hyper protective of her personal bubble, okay? Because eventually when she's got the babies next to her, that's going to make her a better mother. Now that you guys totally know what's going on in their heads, I'm going to go on and play with them. Now I want you to know that working with alligators is something only desperate people do. So kids, stay in school. Now, this is an alligator pit. So before I walk in, I had to remove my sandals because I'm wearing Crocs. Thank you very much. Guys, it's basic biology. See, we got a sharp little tack up in front, huh? You guys keep going. All right. Now, the Native Americans would bring the alligators home for food. They would bring them home alive. That's the only way the meat stays fresh.
That's pretty good, 190 pounds?
Yeah, I have to go to the gym 5 times a week to stay up with an animal that does nothing all day and eats twice a month. How depressing is that? They literally don't do anything, and they are bodybuilders. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you how the Native Americans would bring the animal home alive. Now, her mouth is open a little bit because she does want to bite me, and that's totally cool. So we're just going to keep that mouth shut. Now, the alligators have a lot of power to close with these muscles right on the side of the neck here. That's enough to snap your skull like 4 times, like a zit. However, gators don't attack people until they do something stupid. So watch carefully. Thank you. Now, the alligators are used to me, but it doesn't make this safe. It just means they feel safe, okay? Now, who wants to see me pick up the mail? Anybody? Good for you. I can't do it, guys. It's just a joke. No, guys, the alligator is a little too big and heavy for me. Yes, sir. So, what I'm going to do is get him to move out of my way so I can get right with the show. Excuse me, sir. I guide him. Okay, now, I'm going to go ahead and spin him around so you guys can see his mouth. And then I'm going to get him to try to eat my hand. You guys just saw me do something similar. Now watch what happens. Look at where my fingers are. If you can see them, I'm going to tuck them behind his teeth. Now watch. Okay. He wants to eat my fingers. He wants to eat my hand because it feels like food, because it technically is. All right? It feels like that chicken, that food that we feed them. Maybe the thawed rats I was throwing in during the feeding show, right? Soft and smushy. That's what he likes to eat. So very carefully, I'm going to rest my head right where my fingertips are. So if you guys enjoyed my show on your way out, feel free to show your appreciation. I greatly appreciate it, guys. Let's get those cameras out. This last trick is called the face-off. Hope everybody can see him. I know some of you guys might want to scooch down a little bit if you can't see. I tried to move him, but he's an animal with his own mind. Now, some people think the animals are drugged. Okay? It's not true. The alligators don't need to be on sedatives. They don't need to be tranquilized to act like this. They have to feel safe. Okay? Again, just because they feel safe does not mean that I feel safe. Okay? I don't want the kids or teenagers to think, look, this is something that you should go do. That being said, we're all going to let you guys hold an alligator now. So, I know we have a lot of kids. We need to go quickly so everyone makes it to the airboats before Christmas time. Okay? So you're not here to redo your whole Instagram account today. You're not here to refill your phone with 200 new photos. You are here to get 2 or 3 photos, each with the alligator. You are going to hold the alligator under the neck and on top of the tail. Do not grab underneath the tail, because when he wiggles, he will slap you across the face. And as funny as everyone else is going to think, you're not going to find it so funny. So if you don't want that to be you, just grab him on the top. And nothing happens. All your dreams come true. Give him a kiss, and you pass him on. Sound good? Guys, come on down. Let's go, let's go. Your parents need to be with you. I need an adult to grab them first. There you go, brother. You guys, not under the armpits. There you go. Around the throat. Very good. All right, we're bringing out the second alligator right here. Guys, remember, we need to go quickly. If your kids are afraid to hold it, just get a photo next to them and move on. We do not have time to go with every child.
What's doing that to me?